That was the spinner. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Duff. Alright, I'm out, and this is Chronicles of a Not Yet Champion Golfer. So basically this page is all about, well, don't want to sound self-centered, but it's all about me, what I'm doing, practice-wise, what I'm working on, but hopefully it's something that's going to be able to help you out. Now, I'm on my way out to the chipping green now. I'm going to go and do some bunker practice this morning. I have got 10 weeks until Q school, which is basically what my season's all about. You know, as it goes, the season's been indifferent really so far, but I always think I'm working on things, trying to make improvements ready for Q school, which is beginning of October. And it feels good. There's a lot of work still to do, but hopefully give you an insight into what I'm doing, how I like to practice, and yeah, try out what I'm doing and see if it works for yourselves. Actually, when I'm playing bunker shots, you know, the old way is sort of open the club face up, aim left and cut across it. Now I don't like that. I don't feel like I get a consistent strike on it at the ball when I do that. As you can see, if I just open the club face now, that heel lifts off the ground, the toes in the ground and digging into the sand, and that's all that's sort of, you know, that's all that's going into the sand first. Now that's fine, you know, as long as you can be consistent in what you're doing, but for me I prefer to use the whole of this sole and utilize the bounce. You might say, what's the bounce? Loads of people don't know what the bounce is. Oh yeah, I like to use the bounce, it sounds good, but I don't know what the bounce is. No, I do, I think. So the bounce basically is wherever this leading edge sits, it's that back bit of the sole that's actually touching the ground, and the bounce, the amount of degrees of bounce is from this leading edge to the ground, how many degrees are there, and this particular wedge has 9 degrees of bounce. So as you can see, it's not the leading edge sat on the ground. So when I'm playing bunker shots, I like to open the club face up, add loft by leaning that shaft angle back, and then I make sure the whole sole's on the ground. The more that I add loft, the more I'm going to be lower. That club's going to sit lower and lower and lower. Now again, I like to do that because that makes sure that whole of that sole is making contact with the sand, which I think produces the best shots, and I can control the spin a lot more essentially, and can get that one that I like to land on the green and spins back, because I like to see that. So you'll see me, especially on the one that's more open, I'll be almost sat on the ground, just the way that I feel that I can open it up to its maximum, lower that shaft, and I'm still utilising the whole bounce but with maximum loft on it. So I'm going to hit 3 shots for you. I'm going to hit one that's quite square, which I generally don't play, I don't really like. That normally comes out a bit lower and rolls a bit further, so it's the longer bunker shots, it's alright. Personally, I prefer to still add a bit of loft and just use, you know, my 52 degree wedge, or I haven't got a 52 degree wedge, that's a complete lie. Use my 54 degree wedge or my 50 degree wedge and, you know, change it distance that way. Always prefer to be aggressive in the bunker if I can. Not, don't mean aggressive like have fights in the bunker, I mean aggressive, like hit it hard. And to hit it hard, I need more loft on the club. So I'll hit 3, I'll hit one with a square club face, should come out low and run, and I'll struggle to keep it short of the short pin. As expected, that's run out to about 12 feet. I struggle to swing it short enough for that length of shot with a square club face. Feel like there's not much bounce using more of the leading edge, digging into the sand, so got to be more precise with that strike. Personally, I don't really like that shot, but each to their own. I'll have one where the loft is sort of semi-open, so half open. So half open on this one, should come out a little bit softer. You can see I'm sat a little bit lower, hands a little bit further behind the ball. Come out much softer, a little bit higher, much less roll on it. And one where it's really open that I'll be aggressive with, and it'll come out high and hopefully not out the middle of the leading edge. Very low to this one. As you can see, I've got hands are going to be back. The whole of that sole is going to make contact with the ground. But make sure when you're doing this, you've actually got sand in the bunker, because if your bunkers are like car parks, the club will just bounce and the ball will go miles. You can see how much more aggressive I can be with that shot. Just pops it up in the air. So try the 3 shots out, see what you think yourself. But as I say, if you're going to open it up, the more that club face is open, more loft that's added to it, hands go further back, and the lower you get. So if I was trying to play this shot with a 7-iron, I'd be lying down in the sand somewhere. Just drawing a straight line in the sand. And I'll do this every time I practice my bunker playing. It's not necessarily like a technical practice, it's me just trying to hit the right part of the sands. That's the key to hitting good bunker shots. You can consistently strike it where you want, where you want the club to enter the sand. You're going to control the golf ball when it lands on the green so much more. But it's a decent way just to get yourself warmed up and keep your eye in, know where you're striking the sand. Play a few shots with the same sort of feeling. That sort of slapping sound. It's the one. So just imagine yourself slapping yourself in the face, not someone else. You don't want to slap someone else, so you can get sued and all sorts now for that. But slap yourself in the face, listen to the sound, try and recreate it in the bunker. You might notice I have my weight a lot on my left side. All that does, that just brings like the bottom of my swing, so the lowest point of my swing, it brings it forward. If I was to stay back, sternum's behind the ball too much, I feel like I'm going to hit the sand too early. It's not a key that you've got to do. It's just what works for you, where you find the club bottoms out. For me, that's where my sternum is. So I get the ball forward on my left side. It allows me to stay sort of, it's not centered because I'm more on my left side, but it allows me to rotate around that one point rather than moving all over the place really. The weight on the left side, and I just stay there. Just make sure you're accelerating through it. Same thing, focuses purely on that strike, get that bounce of that club into the sand at the right point, make that slapping sound. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Duff. Concentrate as well. It's a joke that routine there. Oh, that one spun. Right, here's the spinner. No, it's not. So close. That was the spinner. It's a few shots, to say, getting used to how you're striking it, and then put that into a bit more of a target-based game, which keeps it competitive when you're out here, rather than just hitting ball after ball after ball, and you get bored. You end up hitting crap shots that you don't want to. You don't want to grind into your game. You want to work on the proper things the way that you do it on the golf course. So here's a drill: 12 balls, 3 flags. No, 12 balls, 4 flags. That's 3 balls to each flag in it. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Yeah, 3 balls each flag, and I've given myself 60 feet. So it's averaging 5 feet per shot, which I think now is probably a bit ambitious, but I've already said it, so it's a bit late. So there's a good chance that you might see me have a little head off here, and I promise I won't delete the video. If I do, I'll keep it on there, because it only takes one bad shot, one slightly thin one or something, you've used your 60 foot. So Each shot's got to go through your routine. Do it as you would do on the course. It's got to matter. Measure it after, you know, half your balls, so you know, right, okay, I've done half the shots, I've now got 15 feet left or whatever it might be. So it just creates a little bit of pressure. It puts you under a little bit of stress, the use of a better word, you know, the way that you might be on the golf course. So it's just very much applicable to what you do out there. About 2 feet. I'm up. I'm doing it. I'm winning.
Next level.
That's long. Ruined it there. Ruined it. And that's the good thing with this, it gives you like true emotions. Like, I really want to slam my club into the sand now. I'm on video, so I'm not allowed, I've got to behave myself. So I got halfway through, and then about 6 people decided to go to the practice ground. One come on the chipping green and proceeded to practice his full flop shots. So I had to abort the game after 6 shots. I'm on my way back to finish my challenge that started earlier before the fella come and started practicing his 50-yard flop shots all over the green. Remember, I was on 27 feet total. Just hold on one sec, some fella's playing his shot in the comp here. Little chip and run. Oh, it's nice, it's nice. Oh, it's nearly hold it, fair play. So, I've forgotten where I am now. Come on, concentrate, Al. Yeah, so, competition. The competition, I'm not in a competition with anyone, doing it myself. The challenge is 12 balls. There's 4 flags on the chipping green here at Bromborough. So 12 balls, that's 3 shots to each flag. 3 shots to each flag. Just checking no one's coming down here. 3 shots to each flag. And I've got a total of 60 feet to play with. That's from the 12 balls. So essentially each shot, if each shot went to 5 feet, 12 shots, 12 times 5 would equal 60 feet. I'd have, you know, met the target of the challenge. I've done the first 6 shots and I had a total of 27 feet, which I'm happy with. So I've got 33 feet to play with for the last 6 shots. Isn't as good. Flop shot man's killed me. Nice. Right, I've got 1 ball left, so I'm going to measure what I've got, so I can put myself under pressure. So give me 1 minute. Right, I've done well. I've got 50 feet total, so this shot to that flag is to that flag? Yeah, that flag. I've got 10 feet to play with, so I'm going to put the camera over there for the big finale. Here we go, last shot. I wish I did yoga. I feel like this is a yoga moment. Anyway, golf. Come on. Oh my God. My ball's over there, about 40 yards that way. 10 foot I needed. Now, I'm raging there. That's an example of having a completely incorrect focus on the shot. So I had 10 foot to play with there. I haven't hit a single shot outside of 10 foot in the first 11 balls, and the last one I thin it. Now my focus was getting it to within 10 feet, which is ridiculous. That whole theory of getting inside a bin lid or getting it within 5, 6, 10, 20 feet, whatever it might be, is daft. Aim to hole it. You know, my focus all the time has been get it as close as possible until that last one, get it within 10 feet. And I've just knifed it. So, absolutely fuming. So that sort of challenge, it's great for doing stuff that's going to be able to be applied to the golf course. You know, it's not standing there hitting hundreds of balls, you know, anything like that. It's doing stuff that's actually... Just drove into a tree there. Concentrate where you're going. That's another thing when you're driving a buggy, concentrate where you're going. Don't want to hit trees. Yeah, it's a really good challenge, that bunker practice, but you can change it to suit yourself. You know, that one's just an example of what I like to do. I want to try and get the ball within 5 feet, something that I think that I can do, so that's why I set a 60 foot target for the 12 shots. Now, you don't need to play 12 shots, you don't need 60 feet. If you're happy with, you know, getting it to 10 feet out of the bunker, well, set yourself that target and then just keep improving it, gradually changing it to 8 feet, 6 feet, you know, however many shots you want to do. Just set yourself a target so that puts you under that pressure. I say that's what you've got to do on the golf course. You only get one chance and you've got to play the shot, so you can't switch off, as I shown with that ridiculous last shot. So I'll be back posting videos every Tuesday. You can follow me on Instagram, Alex Evans Golf, on my website, alexevansgolf.com, always promoting. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.